Hello, Playing Games with Strangers listeners. This is Celeste, otherwise known as Ailey. We wanted to come to you before this next episode, and potentially several of the next episodes. I'm not sure how often Dave will put this into the queue to be before an episode, but because the subject matters that we are about to deal with are going to be a little bleak. They are probably going to be things that, honestly, not everybody can handle. And while we are still handling these subject matters in a way that is accessible for all, is something that even grandma can enjoy, it's still topics that may give you issues. If you're a parent and you listen to this with your children in the room, depending on their age, you may want to reconsider. There will be trigger warnings in the description, so please check those. We love our fans and we love what we do and we love bringing content to you, but we do not want to cause anyone to have problems. So please check those trigger warnings. You can skip ahead of them. And while you may not understand everything that's happening, your health mentally is more important to us. So, thank you. I hope you enjoy the show.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to this week's edition of Playing Games with some of the cast. We all knew this wouldn't last.
Ooh.
Did they quit? Was the last session just too much?
Dude, that last session was a lot. It was a lot.
But this one's going to be even better. I mean,
or it'll
right,
be
Dave?
a lot less.
Yeah. Well, hey.
The fact that we have you here, Josiah, kind of terrifies me, to be perfectly honest.
I see how it is.
I guess we're doing introductions now. We have Dave and Josiah here right now. Just them.
And Squid's coming.
Squid said she'll be here late, so
Dave has volunteered to recap for us. Got it.
Did
Got you out of
I
it.
thought it was you because you weren't here.
I'm ready. Let's go.
Okay, I'm going to recap because I'm the only one of the three of us who's listened to all of the last session in its entirety to remember. Wilder decided he wanted to talk to Zeus because reasons, and Zeus showed up and had a conversation with Wilder with his fist. Wilder got the blunt end of a feeble mind spell and got drugged down a flight of stairs, after which Zeus decided to murder Aileen and then dimension door out of there. And breaking all arcane laws, Callum used the same dimension, jumped in the dimension door before it closed and followed him up to the tower, where they had also met up with Orbog and Amron. Oh yeah, Callum cast Greater Restoration on Wilder. Wilder came to his senses. Zeus got annoyed, threw Wilder against the tower, and then disappeared. Amron felt the sense of her sister, who had been acting weird, walked past her in the possession of Mayra, a assassin of sorts, who was carrying Rhoda's soulstone. After a confrontation within the tower, Mayra gave the soulstone back to Amron. Amron sets out to try to find Rhoda and figure out how to put a soul back in the body, only to find bits and pieces of an ashed Rhoda outside of the tower. Pooh, we left off with him running towards Castle Stirkler, or what remains of it, that has tentacles flying out of it. Meanwhile, in the land of the dead, Aileen gets saved from being eaten by Carrick by Leona getting eaten by Carrick, making Aileen the aspect of death. And then Aileen got resurrected. There was some screaming. They figured out that Aileen is the aspect of death. Leona's last words were a confession of love for Wilder, which was conveyed to Wilder from Aileen. So that's a happy time for Wilder. And by the way, Leona did get LL to safety, but failed to mention where safety was to Wilder. So, and then everybody went down into the Underdark, except Castle Manlagar got smashed as they were coming back up to try to reconnect with Amren and or Pooh. So they are in the Underdark. Amren is looking for her family somewhere in the Fallen Tower. I feel like I'm forgetting things, and if I am, I apologize. I am only one man. It just occurred to me I wasn't supposed to do that until after the theme song. So there's that. That goes to show you how prepared I am for this evening.
You're still just stalling.
I am, because I don't know where I'm going to go.
And now, time for our theme song.
Playing games with strangers, you know there's no danger. So come on in, we're all friends, playing games with strangers.
Pooh, we're going to start out with you because we got some ground to make up with you, figuratively and literally. Last time we saw Pooh, you were on your way towards Castle Sturkler. You had an encounter with Christopher, who revealed to you that he had always been a servant of Carrick.
And that he was around again. So that's
a thing. And after this encounter, what did Pooh do?
Well, I kept going towards where the giant thing was, just to get some more information on what was going on, really. See if there's anyone I could help out with.
So as you are heading north towards Castle Sturkler, you watch as these tentacles that are coming up out of the ground swing out and grab onto random residents of the city of Northern Towerfall. And as they grab people, it raises them up in the air. And as they go up in the air, you see that they are... It's almost as if the tentacles are consuming the people as they kind of ash out like people in the Avengers movies when Thanos snaps his finger.
Oh dear. Oh bother. Oh, no.
As well as these tentacles laying waste to the architecture around you. Through some deft monk movements, you are able to avoid being snatched up by tentacles. But it seems like the closer to Sturkler you get, the more frequent the tentacular strikes seem to be.
I'm going to take some cover as much as I can right now and see if I can get a good look at like where the center of this, of this tentacular, as you said, mass is. I just want to see if it's like just one point or multiple points, like where is it?
They're all coming out of the foundations of Sturkler.
Okay.
Roll. There's some moments where Call of Cthulhu has the stat builds right. Like if I were to say roll an idea check, I would say roll a history check.
Okay.
It's going to be a low DC.
It's going to be a low roll. Actually not, 17.
You remember the flesh pit.
Yes, I do. Vividly.
And and you kind of get the feeling like maybe that's where those tentacles are pushing out of. that could be a possibility. Like those rooms are sort of like summoning rooms.
I have an idea of where that... We should have done something earlier. Oh, why didn't we? Oh, this is a mess. That's what it is.
Am I pretty well in cover right now?
As in cover as you can be for an apocalypse.
I'm in the middle of the town, right? Like, what exactly would I be around?
You actually had ducked into, you had seen a seamstress shop whose front door was left open, and so you had ducked into it.
Perfect.
The sign on the front said, "Making uniforms at Castle Stirkler, be back later." Around you, it's kind of like just a general shopping district as far as like there's weapons, there's clothing, there's just a series of stores up and down the street, and there's a lot of people. Okay. There's a lot of people who are running towards the tower as the community crisis. The 3 community crisis centers that are set up in Towerfall are the two castles and the tower.
Perfect. What reach do these tentacles seem to have? Are people able to get out of the reach of these tentacles at all?
These tentacles are massive, like Galactus from Marvel.
Yeah.
Size tentacles.
So there's like no good place.
They can reach into Southern Towerfall.
Okay.
And actually have.
Okay, so I'm in the seamstress type shop right now.
Yes.
Is there anyone else in here with me?
This shop seems pretty empty.
Okay.
Roll an investigation check.
Sure. That's a 7.
Nothing here but a spooze.
I will say that you do pick up the sense of 4 different individuals on the air. One of them smells familiar, but you can't quite place it.
Okay.
And another one makes your nose runny and eyes itch.
Ooh.
Almost like a cat.
You said the sign said that they were making uniforms at the castle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to see if there's any uniform type things around here.
Okay. Roll an investigation check.
Sure. 15.
After searching around this, this building takes a couple hits from tentacles as you're in there. So there's a lot of shaking. Some of the walls start to crack a bit. So it may be that this building during this investigation is starting to become a little bit unstable. You do find a guard's uniform. It looks like it was designed for an orc. So it may fit you, but it might be a little tight.
I'm going to go ahead and just go ahead and slip that on.
Couldn't hurt to have a uniform on, and let's see.
As you slip it on, it's pretty snug and slightly uncomfortable, sort of like wearing pants that might be like one size a bit too small.
This seems rather familiar. It's like slipping into an old jacket.
So I put that on, and then since this building seems to be collapsing a little bit, I just look around, make sure there's no one in this building, and go outside. I'm going to look for 2 things.
Okay.
A cart and a place where I might find explosives.
That's some very specific things.
I'm a very specific individual.
When you say a cart, do you mean like a horse cart or
something that I could
wheelbarrow?
Wheelbarrow type cart is what I'm looking for.
Okay.
Put some stuff in. Hand cart.
I'm going to need 2 different investigation checks to do this.
First one is a 4. Second one is a 13. So,
okay, you don't see a cart amidst all the chaos.
Cart. No.
it may be that, some people have looted whatever cars they can find to get their personal belongings or things that they consider necessary from their homes that they can't leave behind, be it heirlooms or whatever, and to run towards the castle. You've seen more than a few people with such things pushing their goods in that direction. You are able to find a couple bundles of explosives that look like they were designed for excavation purposes.
Great. Yeah. I will grab those, and then I'll stand out kind of in the street, see if I can wave down anyone who's running, since I look official in my uniform.
You there! You there! You, sir! Stop! Please!
I'm going to have you make a persuasion roll. Normally, I'd give you disadvantage because you're in the middle of a panic, but because you do look like a person of authority, I'll waive the disadvantage and let you make it as a straight roll.
It's a wonderful straight roll, I'll tell you that. This is good. I rolled a 0 on that persuasion check.
Oh, no. Nobody listens.
They're just running past me as I'm standing there.
There's rubble everywhere, terror on everybody's faces, and nobody's listening to anybody.
Right. This isn't working. All right. Nearest bar. Nearest bar.
And I start running for the nearest bar that I can find. I know I'm familiar with. I've seen a couple around here.
You find a local inn called the Dewdrop Inn.
I burst through what's left of the door.
Okay.
And I head towards the back room to see if I can find any kegs of alcohol of any sort. I'm looking for the as many kegs of alcohol and flammable liquid as I might find in here.
Roll a perception check for me, please.
Okay. 16.
You notice as you're running through this inn that the layout of this inn looks exactly like the layout of the yawning portal to an uncanny degree.
I can't seem to shake the feeling that I've been here before. This is... And that would mean that... Oh, I'm a little confused at the moment. Focus, Pooh, focus. We need to make a big explosion. There's something to get rid of these tentacly things. Take it to the source. Yes, Pooh, yes.
As I'm on my way to the back room where in the yawning portal, where there would have been the alcohol stored, I look down to see if there is a portal where the yawning portal would have been.
Well, the yawning portal was actually a reference to the trap door, the well that was underneath the inn,
that's what I was.
Okay, there is the trap door behind the bar. When you go into the back room to look for the extra supplies, you also notice in the same spot there is another circle of teleportation
In Durnan's office area.
And there is lots of kegs of mead and ale there, but the alcohol content in that probably would not be enough to burn. Roll an investigation check.
Come on. There's got to be something here.
But I do take some mead while I'm here. A 5.
Yeah, it's hard to find anything super strong.
No. Bother.
And I sit down on the floor in there.
Oh, what to do?
I rip off one of the lids of one of these barrels and stick my head in.
Okay.
And then I bring my head back out after taking a couple drafts.
Okay. This is it. I've got these. This will have to do. Okay. We're going in. Oh, what about that portal, the thingy. Just real quick look.
I just take a real quick look at the teleportation circle in the other room.
Okay.
Trying to figure out if it's active at all. Not that Pooh knows much of that sort of thing.
I was about to
go
say,
in
go
there
ahead and
kind
make an Arcana roll if you want to figure that out.
Yeah. I stand in the middle of it and wiggle my fingers around a little bit.
You stand in the middle of it?
Yeah, and wiggle my fingers a little bit.
Is this thing on?
I rolled a 5 on
Oh,
Arcana.
No. Okay. As you stand in the middle of this teleportation circle
And wiggle my fingers. Very important.
and wiggle your fingers, you have a momentary and yet not unfamiliar feeling of breathlessness as everything goes bright black around you. And suddenly you are elsewhere in a different inn. Or rather, it looks a lot like the same inn, but there is a language being spoken out front, a panicked language being spoken from out front that you are not familiar with.
It was on? But this is the same place. Must not be working. Okay. Someone needs help. That I can do.
Nice. I go towards the panic language being spoken. Whoever's...
You step out of the back room to several surprised looks from probably about 13 Fontars.
Ah, yes. Hello there. Are you trying to escape the tentacle things? I didn't see you in here before, but I've got a plan. It involves explosives.
I hold up the explosives that I have.
Do me a favor, Josiah,
Yes.
because I'm going to incorporate some Call of Cthulhu mechanics here.
Got it.
You're essentially going to be making a luck roll. I need you to roll me a percentile die, and it needs to be under 20%.
Okay. Would a 38 be under a 20%?
No. So this group of Fontars, whom you've never seen before, and you've never seen this many Fontars in one space, all turn and look at you, already panicked from what you see as a tentacle holocaust happening outside. They turn and look at you as a strange creature running out of the back room with hands full of explosives. And they all turn their blades in your direction and begin to charge. I'll give you one reaction before...
Before they... I sit down on the ground and cross my legs.
Whoop. I am peaceful.
And try to look as peaceful as I can.
I will also say this. Make a... What's your passive perception?
Oh, now that is 13. Giving you lots to work with here.
I am trying to save you, Josiah, and you're making...
No, you don't try to save me. That's not your job.
Okay, fine. Fair enough. I'm gonna give it to you anyway, just because I want to see how this pans out.
Okay.
When you stepped into the Dewdrop Inn, it was starting to get towards the evening hours.
Mm-hmm.
Where you are now, it looks almost like it's morning outside.
Okay.
I think Pooh, being a being that would establish time of day based by sun placement, would notice these things a bit more readily than
I'll take that.
the more civilized races. I need you to make a persuasion roll to try to demonstrate that you
My
are
peacefulness.
trying to be peaceful.
Yes.
Does Pooh put down the explosives when he sits and crosses his legs?
I don't really have a place to put the explosions. Or the explosives. I don't want to sit them on the ground. So I just kind of put them under my armpits and hold them there and try to free up my hands, in a nice wave.
All right, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead and just roll a straight persuasion then.
Yep. Well, it's not natural, but it is a 1.
That's the end of the campaign, guys. We're done.
Death by Fontar. Who knew?
They approach you, they stick their blades in their face, and they start shouting at you in a language that you don't understand. They do not seem all that happy that you are there.
Wait, what language are they speaking? Maybe I do speak it. Actually, 1 second here. I actually do understand what they are saying. Because I have the tongue of the sun and moon. I understand all spoken languages, and any creature that can understand a language can understand what I say.
Okay.
Aha!
Thank you, Josiah. You made life easy for me.
I come in peace. I come in peace.
As you begin to focus and you start to understand, this is just starting for them. Like, as you start to piece together the mumbo jumbo that you heard when you first came in there, they're trying to figure out what's going on. There was some sort of abandoned building in town that exploded, and there's tentacles coming out of the ground, and they're trying to figure out what needs to be done to save the town or what. You overhear them saying they've received reports from several cities up and down the coasts of Fandiria that this is happening all over.
Sorry that I came in like that. It was unexpected. I didn't mean to scare you. I am from Towerfall. Have any of you ever heard of Towerfall? That's where I was.
The look on one of their faces drops to a look of concern as he puts his glaive down. What of our brother Kai?
Oh, Kai.
Have you encountered Kai?
Yes. I know Kai. Yes. Very nice. Well-mannered. He works for a friend of mine, actually. Works with a friend of mine. But I just came from Towerfall, and this attack has been... The tentacles are going on there as well, unfortunately.
Okay. Is he well?
Last I know, but you seem to have being attacked by the same thing that we were. I would recommend getting everyone as underground. These tentacle things seem to grab things up, anything, and knock over anything. But if you have any place underground, get your people there.
He turns to the other ones and shouts to them to start organizing the town and taking them down into the tunnels as they throw open the trapdoor behind the bar. All right, thank you, my furry friend. We will try to evacuate the town.
Yes.
Into the tunnels.
I don't know much about these things. I believe they are summoned somehow. I think ours was in a room of flesh and summoning somehow. I was on my way to try to...
that sounds disgusting.
Yes. Explode it to hopefully do something to stop it from attacking more, but I honestly don't know what good that will do. But it's... Well, it's the only thought I could think of.
This strikes me as being something too big to fight directly. Perhaps you would do best going back to your city and assisting them in the same way you've assisted me.
Yes. Do you know how this thing works? I'd very much like to see if I could find my friends and reconnect with them.
Right. He gestures to the other people as to begin the evacuations. He runs in the back and starts quickly scrawling onto the circle, and he goes, "Go quick, and be swift about saving your people."
Right. Yes, I've wiggled my fingers again.
You step on there, and you are back in the Dewdrop Inn, and right as you appear, it takes a large hit, and it seems like it's about to come down.
All right. I run out the door outside, and I yell. I'm yelling in the streets.
Everyone, get away! Go underground! Hide! If anyone needs help, I'm here. I'll do something. And also, have you seen my friends?
I need you to make 2 rolls for me, please.
Oh, goody.
I need you to make an investigation check.
Oh.
And a persuasion check.
That is a natural 20 -1 for the investigation check.
Okay.
And a natural 1 -2 for the persuasion check.
Awesome. As you're saying this, you do actually find an entrance into the underground tunnels.
Yes, perfect. Everyone, down here.
As you are trying to get everybody's attention, you're like waving your arms and running through town.
Yeah.
Shouting as loud as you can, trying to get people's attention. And people just see a giant bugbear screaming and throwing its
Holding
arms
explosives.
around with explosives. So yeah, nobody, like everybody is running away from you.
Right. Well, okay.
I store the explosives in my pack.
I need you to make a dexterity save, please.
That I can do. That's 18.
Right about this moment, a giant tentacle shoots down from the sky and slams into the ground where you were standing. You managed to leap up and barely dodge it.
Nope.
I head towards the hole that I found into the underground.
And with that, Emran, who is our last remaining party member who is above ground.
Hey, what's up?
What's up?
What's up?
Hey girl, how you doing?
Just me in my head hanging out.
All right. So what's Amarina doing?
Aside from the panic attack, like that aside, we're going back into the tower. We're gonna find a safe place in the tower.
Oh, that's right. We left off with you sitting down after finding the
Yep.
the remains of Rhoda.
It's me in a head. What's up? Are people still like flocking to the tower?
Yeah, people are still flocking into the tower. It's starting to get crowded. You have seen more than one person getting trampled trying to get into this thing.
Cool. I think
Because Castle Manlagar has been destroyed now, so this is the only remaining.
yeah. There's like a basement to the downstairs at least because we were on the stairs before.
Mm-hmm.
Are my buddies here? I don't remember if I saw them. Brita and Galadier.
As you recall, Brita got mangled.
Oh, that's right. See, I owe you a few, as I said.
She is make a medicine check.
Yeah, it's just an 8. I'm kind of focused on some other things at the moment.
You're not sure what's up with her, but last you saw her, she did not have use of her arms or legs.
Don't need them.
You left her in the possession of her husband.
Great. In that case, I'm gonna find whoever seems the most composed in grabbing reach. Who looks like they're the least panicked?
Out the corner of your eye, something catches your attention, not because of what it looks like or because of how it's moving, but because of how still it is in your peripheral vision. And you turn and you see an older man that seems to be standing on an elevated platform, just watching as things are happening, with just a sad expression on his face.
Does he look familiar to me, or?
I'll say this, roll history check for me, please.
Okie dokie. That's just a straight 12. How much is this? The priest dude, whatever his name was.
Yeah. Did you ever meet him?
I mean, never in the campaign, but I've lived here my whole life, so who is to say? Truly.
That's why I was having you roll that history check. I don't think a 13 is going to be enough to really know him.
I'm not much of a religious dear, you see.
Right.
I'm going to do the very polite thing of snapping in his direction and pointing at him. Can you help these people get in further?
He looks at you and he seems a little bit surprised. You can see me.
Can you help these people?
He looks at you. Do I have the capacity to help these people? I have the knowledge, but you're the only one who sees me.
She just turns away. She doesn't have time to deal with that right now. That's a later problem. I'm gonna look for someone else that is calm ish.
No, wait. You've been touched by the Towerfall legacy.
Speak faster if you have something to say to me, because things are happening rather quickly here.
You see me because I need to help you. What are you here for?
I am here to get these people safe.
These people cannot be saved. At least not by my hand. They don't see me. Here, let me show you. And he reaches towards you, and his arm literally goes into you. You feel a cold presence inside your very being, almost to a violating degree, like there's another person inside of me, and I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't. I'll tell you right now. You're correct.
And he pulls his hand out and he says, "Do you understand?"
Yes and no, for a number of reasons. Okay, well, see, here's the thing is I need these people to get in further, and I also need the people that are trying to get in to stop dying, and I can go out there and do that. So I need someone in here to do the other part, and if you can't talk to them, maybe you can help me later. We can just chat it out. I'm sure it'll be very helpful for both of us.
Your family is here.
Yes, they are.
Follow me.
I don't think you're listening to me.
He darts down a hallway.
Oh, I don't have time for this right now. I don't think she follows.
Okay.
I will keep note of what hallway it is, but I don't think she follows right now. She's going to sit down the head of her sister that she's still holding. We'll deal with that trauma later as well. She's just going to check at the door to see how many people are still coming, while still keeping a side eye at where this man disappeared to.
There is a large crowd of people trying to force their way in. By this point, this chaos has been going on for probably an hour and a half now. So you kind of see the back of the line in the distance.
Mm-hmm.
And then abruptly, a very thick tentacle comes slamming down on the crowd, and it looks like an ocean of raspberry jam with extra seeds as it gushes up against the side of the tower.
Are there still people alive out there, or is this kind of made my job easier?
Alive is really
Are there people able to walk on their own out there?
Oh God, no.
Okay. All right. As long as everyone that I can see that is currently like actively pursuing the door is inside, my task is complete, as I was just going to try and fend off tentacles, but I can't fend off that one, so
make a perception check.
So 17.
So you notice, though, that as these tentacles have been coming down, it seems like they've been meticulous to not touch the tower.
Great. Okay, so I feel like they're pretty safe here.
Like, these things have been hitting all the buildings and destroying them, but for some reason they have been specifically not making contact with the tower.
Okay, so I feel pretty good about people being inside here. You know what? I'll go follow this man. I'll give you your side quest.
Hey, my side quest.
I'll give me my side quest. I'll push past people because I'm a kind individual. I'll pick up Rhoda's head first, actually. I'll bring that with me.
Someone's gotta got take a doll.
I don't know how soul stones work, so...
Okay, so you follow down that hallway. You don't see the old man. You do see a crowd of stunned people looking at the stairway in the middle of the floor. And it looks like several people have fallen down the stairway, like they didn't expect it to be there.
Are they okay?
I mean, for people who fell down some stairs. And you overhear murmurings of, like, it just came out of nowhere.
That sounds like the way I should go, I guess. And I'll just kind of, as politely as I can be in my current state of emotional everything, just Move aside. Pardon me.
People are giving you a wide berth because it's an angry Fontar who's carrying a head.
And a glaive. The glaive and the head, both weapons in the right hands.
Mm-hmm.
Great, then I don't have to be overly rude. Excuse me, pardon me, thank you. Excuse me, pardon me. And I'll head down the stairs.
You make your way down the stairs, and you can tell that there's like a network of rooms underneath here. These hallways have a very regal feel, but they do also feel not often used. Like,
Does this feel like crypt-like?
no. Roll a history check for me, please.
I'm so good at this. A 13.
Yeah, you're not sure what these are.
Again, not a religious individual.
But there are gilded tapestries along the walls. But there are several torches that aren't in use. It's like only 1 out of every 7 torches down this hallway are lit. So someone's been using it.
And the people upstairs don't seem like super eager to come down this.
No, they seem
stairway.
apprehensive because because from what you gather, the stairway came out of nowhere.
Perfect. And the angry Fontar went down it. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to set Rhoda on a table, leave her there for safekeeping, and continue down this hallway.
As you go down this hallway, there are several rooms that come off this hallway, as well as several other hallways that branch off of it.
Any of them have torches lit?
All of them do, to a certain degree.
So there are people like actively in all of these hallways.
You could assume that, yeah.
I'm going to do the age-old maze technique of if I follow one wall, eventually I'll find it. So I'll take the first turn.
You said you'll find it. What are you looking for? Because like there are rooms everywhere. So
I mean, I'm assuming this man came down here.
okay.
I'm not being quiet. So I assume if he wanted me to follow him and I did so, he will eventually pop out of a room and say, hey, very loud Fontar lady, come here.
Okay.
So I'm just going to clunk about these hallways for a little bit. What else do I have going on? Kingdom's in shambles. I got no queen to protect.
You smell a cooking dinner wafting down the hallway.
Better than something else cooking, I guess. I will head in that direction.
And you come outside of a door. And as you approach the door, you hear a familiar voice that you haven't heard, at least in person, for quite some time. You hear your mother's voice behind this doorway.
Yep, I walk in. There's no ceremony here. Ceremony's dead.
You walk in, and all of a sudden, your mother turns around and, with a shock, she goes, "Embryn!" And she runs up to you and embraces you like a prodigal daughter.
So you know what? That's fair. That's fair. It's a trying day. I'll actually give her a hug back. This is fine. Is this man in here?
No, he is not.
Okay. I'm also making eyes at Ida and Nikus to make sure that they look alive and good.
Nikus looks like he's seen things.
Again? I paid a lot of money for that to be not the case.
Well, but then Bastille kind of paid a lot of money to make it the case again.
Men.
Ida seems a bit more resilient, as younger children do.
That'll come back to haunt her in later years, but...
Oh, it wouldn't shock me.
We'll figure that out in 10 to 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did a man come in here? Kind of ethereal man. Can stick his hand through you. Makes everything a little chilly.
She chuckles, and he just kind of comes and goes as needed.
Oh.
He doesn't really address things, but he seems to know what the most necessary thing is for a person.
So you can also see him, because he seemed alarmed that I could see him.
Sometimes.
Okay. Oh, food smells good. How are you guys?
Please, come in, eat.
I think she just does. She just goes to sit down and eat. She's a tired little deer. It's been a long day. I'll give a little look at Ida and Nikus and then back to Bob and say, do you know where the others are?
Nikus just gets wide eyes and starts shaking his head like, no, let's not do this.
Okay.
And your mom goes, did you bring them with you?
I'm sure they're safe. I brought some of them. Some parts of some of them. Everyone was getting to safety.
Safety? Is there something wrong?
It's a bit too much for us up there.
Oh dear, do you think we should go help?
No. I think it's a bit beyond that at the moment.
Well, I mean, if there's people who are in need of help, we should do what we can.
There are a lot of people in this tower that could use help. And in this room.
Amryn, what's wrong? This isn't the Amryn that I know. The Amryn I left up top would have been up there. What's become of my daughter?
Well, a man put his hand through my body and then said, follow me. Your family is here. So I thought I should come check on you guys. Because that doesn't happen every day. Or any day before this day. It's also just been kind of a long few days in general. So I think in order to answer what has become of me, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's been, yeah. But I'm helping. I am helping people. Did help people.
She just pulls you back into her embrace. She goes, oh, my sweet baby girl. As she pulls away from you, she goes, well, let me give you some food and we can figure out how we can best help this situation. Tell me what's going on. I haven't seen the surface for a while.
How long have you been down here? Why are you down here? I have more questions after those two.
What's your passive perception?
16.
You notice that she has a crippled hind leg that is...
Get in line, honey.
That is put up kind of in a similar looking cart that your front two legs are. But hers looks like it's been bent and broken and rehealed in a way that is abnormal. There was a day your father went too far, and for the sake of self-preservation, I had to go. And I've been down here since.
I see.
Have you seen Rhoda?
She
brought your brother and sister down here.
I think when her mom says that, her demeanor changes very much from like that hug from her mom felt really good, and her saying that felt, oh, like this could actually be a normal thing. And then her mom's confession has definitely soured that immediately, and she doesn't look interested in talking to her mother at the moment.
Is something wrong?
A lot of things are wrong, actually, which you would know if you weren't hiding down there while your children were left up there on their own.
Well, you speak like someone who hasn't had to make the decision as to whether or not to have to choose one thing over another.
I have had to make many decisions like that.
That's not what this is about, and this is not how I want this to be. You have a choice in front of you, and whether or not you can forgive whatever it is you think I've done, or if you want to hold that grudge. But you're welcome to stay here. We have food, and we are left largely unbothered.
Yes, I have noticed. I think M gets up and leaves.
Where's she going?
To go get ahead of the situation. She's gonna go back the way she came.
Okay.
Head upstairs to go see that people are being taken care of.
As you start to go that way, you see that some people are starting to venture down the stairs.
I think, just as I see people coming down, I will just, open doors as I walk back towards them just to, show that they're open.
Mm-hmm. And as it's almost like in these doors, it's almost like there's these dusty suites that are behind these doors.
She'll just, as she's walking by, just, tell people to make themselves comfortable and at home and let as many people in as they can because there's a lot more upstairs and get comfortable. Help people out. Be good.
Okay.
She'll go upstairs.
I will say that one door that you open has a dark staircase that goes further down, and there's a cold wind that comes up from it.
We'll slowly close that door.
Okay.
I think she would mark it, but also try to keep it closed just because that doesn't seem like something people should be going further down into at the moment. So I think she'll just stick a python or something in the door jamb and make a little mark that says, "Don't go in there. Dangerous." Because people never want to open doors that say "Don't go in."
That never happens. And so you are heading back up to the surface level.
Yeah.
What are you doing up on the surface?
Just making sure, there were people that were trampled and a lot of that probably didn't know there was a staircase to downstairs, and crowd control, trauma management, doing a little triage.
While you're holding Rhoda's head?
I'm going to wrap it up and put it somewhere with my pack. And
okay.
I'm not just walking around holding it all right, guys, listen to us. We know what we're talking about.
All right, Wilder. We left off with you underground underneath Castle Manlagar, dealing with some hard truths you've been forced to come to terms with.
Mm-hmm.
And what does Wilder want to do other than just sit down and cry?
Yeah, we're past that. Explain the situation to me. If I remember right, essentially we're kind of trapped down there in the Underdark.
Well, you're not quite in the Underdark yet. You are underground. There's a tunnel that goes further down into the Underdark. But there's a network of a bunch of different tunnels that that are under the city. As far as how to navigate them, you aren't super familiar with.
And I am with a crowd of people that got stuck down there as well, right?
Yeah. You were evacuating people down here prior to the castle coming down.
All right. Put Dave all alone in a room with hallways. That's a great idea. I assume Aileen's doing crowd control, and I'm going to leave that to her, and I'm going to start just walking down the nearest tunnel, looking for, pathways to the Underdark or another way to get back up, because we're separated from everybody else. Very much in my head.
You don't have dark vision, do you?
I do.
What are you in your own head about as you're venturing?
Definitely the situation with Leona. More trying to understand, is she actually gone? Just a lot of, surely, she can't be gone. She's powerful. I know that. And I think at some point, thinking about Leona would go, but she knows where LL is. So now it's almost like as I'm walking through this tunnel, very much the way that I would, almost just having panic attack, because it's now, okay, well, if Leona's gone, then LL is gone, and that just keeps going through his head because he knows he can't fix it.
All right. So as you are thinking about these things and you're You're just milling it over a period of time, and you become more panicked a little bit and just caught up in your own anxiety. And you keep having this overwhelming sense of powerlessness. For a brief moment, as you're walking aimlessly through these tunnels, you catch a brief glimpse of light as you hear a door close.
And I assume that the door closing sounds like it's coming from the same place the light is.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to head that way.
It's about 500 yards away. And as you get there, you see a staircase going up to a door. And it's a long staircase.
I'm going to draw my rapier and carefully approach the door.
After creeping up this long staircase, you reach the door and you hear some voices from the other side of it. You can't really make out what they're saying because, door.
I would like to investigate the door to make sure it's not trapped.
All right, go ahead and roll an investigation.
That's a 15.
Seems okay.
Okay, I'm going to open the door.
You open this door and you see several civilian-looking people standing within the vicinity, and they look startled as this man with a sword comes out of this doorway, and they have a look of panic on their face as they look upon you.
Sorry to interrupt, and no need for alarm. I'm going to sheath my sword. Can you kind of give me a good whereabouts of where we're at?
You have been listening to the Playing Games with Strangers podcast with the voices of John Haryu, Catherine Serwinski, Dave Clements, J.S. Earls, Celeste Mora, Josiah Crandall, Eric Campagno, and Steve MacDonald. The theme music was written and performed by Steve Arthur, used with permission. Find more of his music on Facebook or wherever you purchase music digitally. Please review this podcast wherever you download it from to help other podcasters find our podcast and join our community. And once again, thank you for listening.
A massive thanks to our Blade Level patrons, Julie Earls, Aaron Peckham, Josh Clements, Branson Boykin, Debbie Roth, Matthew Cosby, Random Encounters, and Indubitably. Learn more and see how you can support the show by going to patreon.com/playinggameswithstrangers.